Chapter 11. Big Man on Campus. As Mountain Cap returned to Southern Illinois University at Carbondale for his senior year, he sauntered onto campus like a rock star returning to the stage after a sold-out tour. The air crackled with anticipation, as if the very atmosphere itself knew that something extraordinary was about to unfold. For Mountain was no longer just a golfer. He was a legend in the making, a force to be reckoned with, and he intended to make his final year on campus one for the history books. With a mischievous glint in his eye and a devil-may-care grin on his lips, Mountain wasted no time in immersing himself in the debaucherous delights of college life. He was the life of every party, the center of attention wherever he went, and he reveled in the adoration of his peers like a modern-day Dionysus, the Greek god of wine and revelry. The nights blurred into one endless celebration, fueled by an endless supply of alcohol and a carefree attitude that bordered on reckless abandon. But it wasn't just the booze that fueled Mountain's exploits. There were other, more illicit substances that found their way into his eager pair of hands. Like a modern-day alchemist, he experimented with drugs of all shapes and sizes, chasing the fleeting high of euphoria with a reckless abandon that bordered on madness. His nights became a blur of neon lights and pounding music oonts, 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 as he danced through them cluelessly in regard to his lack of rhythm and laughed in the faces of both danger and judgment. Mountain's personally branded dance was known around the SIU campus as the Beanfield Shuffle. The shuffle was as awkward in its planning as it was in its execution. Mountain's dancing looked absurd on putting greens, tee boxes, and keg parties alike. It was difficult to watch for most who were forced to observe it, giving onlookers the sudden urge to shut their eyes. Those who were unfortunate enough to witness the shuffle often wondered if Mountain were in zealous pursuit of an invisible basketball rebound. They also wondered if he flailed his all-too-white elbows so high in the air like that on purpose. Mountain danced with more gusto than he did rhythm. And yet, amidst the chaos of his wild escapades, Mountain never lost sight of his true passion of golf. He trained with a fervor that bordered on obsession, honing his skills with single-minded determination and pushing himself to the very limits of his endurance. His dedication was unwavering, his commitment was unshakable, and he knew that he had the combination of means, talent, and drive to achieve greatness on the golf course. As the season unfolded, Mountain's exploits became the stuff of legend, with each victory adding another chapter to his mythic tale. He played with a fire in his soul and a hunger in his heart, his every swing a testament to his skill and determination. And yet, for all his success on the course, there was a darkness lurking beneath the surface, a darkness that threatened to consume him whole if he wasn't careful. But Mountain was no stranger to his old friend darkness. He had danced with the demons before and emerged victorious on the other side. He knew that he had the strength and the resilience to overcome any obstacle that stood in his way, and he refused to let his demons dictate his destiny. For Mountain Cap was more than just a golfer. He was an intoxicated survivor, a drug-fueled warrior, and a true force of nature to be reckoned with. And so, as the season reached its climax, Mountain stood on the brink of greatness, poised to etch his name into the annals of history. With the eyes of the world upon him, he took a deep breath and prepared to make his final stand, ready to seize victory with both hands and claim his rightful place among the elite of collegiate golf. For Mountain Cap was more than just a man. He was a legend in his own mind, a hero for the ages, and nothing, not even the darkest depths of his own soul or a keg of beer, could now stand in his way. As the NCAA Golf Championship loomed large on the horizon like a mythical beast waiting to be slain, Mountain Cap found himself facing an unexpected adversary. A stubborn case of the crabs that clung to him like a tenacious opponent refusing to yield. But Mountain, ever the resilient warrior, shrugged off this unwelcome obstacle in his stride with the same nonchalance he displayed when facing a daunting sand trap. In a scene straight out of an epic saga, Mountain was standing tall at the edge of the first tee, the sun glinting off his club like Excalibur freshly drawn from its sheath. The crowd, a sea of eager faces, surged with anticipation, their fervent cheers rising like a chorus of battle cries in the crisp morning air. And there, amidst the throng, stood Mountain as a modern-day hero poised to conquer the golfing world with a beer buzz, his trusty set of golf clubs, an enigmatically large collection of spreadsheets, and a twinkle in his eye. As he prepared to unleash his first swing, Mountain felt a surge of energy coursing through his veins, his now steroid-enhanced muscles primed for action like a pack of hungry wolves ready to pounce. Then, with a mighty roar that echoed across the fairway, he sent the ball hurtling through the air like a comet streaking across the night sky, its trajectory guided by the hand of destiny itself. It was a shot for the ages, a stroke of pure genius that would have left even the most seasoned of pros in awe of his raw talent. But Mountain's journey to glory was far from over. Indeed, it had only just begun. With each swing of his Vaseline-slathered club, he carved a path of destruction through the ranks of his opponents, leaving them in his wake like fallen soldiers on a battlefield. His mastery of the game was unparalleled, his skill and precision a sight to behold for all who bore witness to his greatness. And yet, amidst the chaos and excitement of the tournament, Mountain remained ever humble, his feet firmly planted on the ground, even as his star ascended to dizzying heights. He knew that true greatness was not measured in victories alone, but in the hearts and minds of those who looked up to him as a beacon of both hope and inspiration. And as the final round drew to an end, victory was finally his. Mountain stood tall and proud, a triumphant figure bathed in the golden glow of the setting sun. His name would now and forever be etched in the annals of college golfing history, a testament to his indomitable spirit, his ungodly drug and alcohol tolerances, and his unwavering determination in the face of adversity. But even as he celebrated his hard-won victory, Mountain could not shake the feeling that something was amiss, a lingering itch that refused to be ignored. It was then that he remembered the pesky crabs that had plagued him throughout this tournament, a reminder that even the greatest of champions were not immune to life's little inconveniences. Mountain wondered, for only a brief moment, if a competitor had paid a lady to give him the crabs tactically. Then he quickly dismissed the idea, but not before taking a mental note of this tactic. And so, as Mountain basked in the adulation of the crowd, he could not help but chuckle to himself at the absurdity of it all. Here he was, a collegiate golfing prodigy with the world at his feet, yet still plagued by the problems of mere mortals. But such was the nature of life. He realized a delicate balance of triumph and tribulation, victory and defeat, with a healthy dose of recreational chemicals, thrown in for good measure, of course. As he raised his trophy high above his head, Mountain Cap now knew that he had achieved something truly special. But more than that, he had proven to himself, as well as to the rest of the world, that he was more than just a golfer. He was simply a force of nature, a goddamned legend in the making, and his story was one far from being over. Then, with a mischievous twinkle in his eye and a 5-mile smile that stretched from ear to ear, he looked out at the horizon, ready to tackle whatever challenges lay ahead with the same gusto and determination that had carried him to victory on the golf course. For Mountain Cap was not just a golfer, he was a hero, a champion, and a true addict in almost every single sense of the word.